So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming from the great state of Georgia, Senator David Perdue.
Thank you very much. God bless you, man. Thank you. Thank you. I am so honored to be back here again this year. I was in another meeting room just a few minutes ago, meeting with the Georgia delegation. I think they're still here, right? Well, we were talking about thanking them for persevering and getting to Orlando in spite of the storm. They said, what storm? We are the storm, the Americans for Prosperity. Folks, today, the American dream is no longer a reality for some. 2/3 of our young people do not believe it's obtainable. And to tell you the truth, the liberal progressive left is actually sucking the life out of our American dream. This is not the American dream that I was blessed with. They want more government, more intervention into all aspects of our lives. They want more dependency on the federal government. Ladies and gentlemen, if we want America to be strong and prosper again, we have to stop this and stop it right now. My perspective, as you just heard, I'm an outsider to the political process. I never ran for anything until I ran for the Senate in 2014. And it's been a tough road. I'm delighted to be here, but I have to tell you, with my background, I come from a business world where results count. I'm now in a world where talking counts, and we aren't focused on getting results. But running for the Senate was an experience I'd never gone through before, and halfway through the race, maybe a few weeks before the general election, my mom was really concerned about the race. My wife was really negative. She was really getting hurt by all these negative ads. My mom called me one day. She said, David, I love you like a son. I said, Mom, I am your son. She said, yeah, but if these Democrats keep it up, even I might not vote for you. My perspective today is that America is at a moment of crisis. This is what pulled me in here a few years ago. I believe it has 3 levels. 1, we have a constitutional crisis. 2, we have a global security crisis. And 3, we absolutely have a debt crisis. And by the way, with regard to the debt, both parties are guilty. No wonder our young people are losing confidence and losing hope in their future. Well, how did we get here? It didn't just start with Obama. In the last 100 years, the liberal progressive policies of the Democratic Party have generated 3 supermajorities. The first gave us a New Deal, the second, the Great Society, and the third, Dodd-Frank and Obamacare. And I'm just a business guy, but I can tell you, I can lay at the feet of those 3 supermajorities most of the responsibility for this financial catastrophe we have right now. And oh yeah, who sold us hope and change? Obama sold us a bill of goods. He said that the status quo is the new normal, remember? He lied to us. He said he would bring us together as a country. I would argue that he's been very divisive. He said he would work in a bipartisan way, but with a supermajority, he crammed Dodd-Frank and Obamacare down the throat of the minority. And maybe worst of all, he said he would cut the debt. He's on track to more than double it. Ladies and gentlemen, he gave us change all right. But in reality, all he did was shortchange the American dream. The irony of all of this is that these sweeping progressive policies over the last 100 years, doubled down by Obama and being espoused right now by Hillary Clinton, have failed the very people they claim to champion, the working poor and the working middle class of America. And I'm outraged as a business guy because we let them get away with it. Today, the poverty rate is the same as it was in the late 60s, even though we spent trillions of dollars behind the Great Society's war on poverty. Remember? This economic recovery that we have today is the weakest in 75 years. Today, we have fewer people working in America as a percentage than any time since Jimmy Carter was president. The compound per capita GDP growth of this president over 8 years is under 1%. And maybe worst of all, under this president, we've allowed 4 million women to fall into poverty. And yet this president is running around the country in his legacy tour telling people, you know, if anybody tells you that they're not absolutely better off today than they were 7 years ago, well, They're just not leveling with you. The truth is, I must live in an alternative universe. As I travel around the country and travel around my home state of Georgia, people are hurting. You know this. It's why you're here. My family, my friends, my relatives. I don't have to travel to see it. It's in my own hometown. I see it. Today, people are struggling to get from payday to payday. 48% of Americans cannot withstand a $400 surprise in their monthly expenses. People are losing hope. The bottom line is that the liberal policies have failed. Obama has failed. And Hillary Clinton is promising nothing but the same. Ladies and gentlemen, to strengthen the American dream, we cannot let Hillary Clinton give us a third term of Barack Obama. As with every moment of crisis in our history, God has blessed us with a moment of opportunity, and we have it right now. We can stop the gridlock in Washington. We can change the direction of our country. We can eliminate the dysfunction in Washington, but we can't do that until and unless we bring term limits to the United States Senate and the United States House of Representatives. But even with that, real change starts in the White House. And this year, we are given a stark contrast in directions for our country. Clinton wants bigger government, more taxes and regulation, a liberal, activist Supreme Court for the next 50 years, y'all. We cannot allow that to happen. She wants a smaller military, and oh, by the way, the result of all that will be more debt. Trump, on the other hand, is an unusual candidate. He offers smaller government. He's trying to talk about smaller, fewer taxes and regulations, a stronger military, enforce immigration laws, and grow the economy to where it helps everybody. It's pretty simple. If we want different results in Washington, we have to send a different kind of person to Washington. It's clear, in my mind, it's time to put our differences aside. We have to decide which direction we're going to go. It's pretty simple in my mind, as one person, as an outsider to this process, to change the direction of the country and to strengthen the American dream for our children and our grandchildren. We've got to keep the majority in the Senate, and yes, we have to elect Donald J. Trump, the next president of the United States. Folks, the only reason that I ran for the Senate, the only reason I ran for the United States Senate in 2014 was I saw this crisis. It's real, it's here, and it's deadly serious. I wanted to do whatever I could to change the direction of our country in whatever small way a U.S. Senator can do. I do not want to be a member of the first generation in American history to have to tell my children that I'm leaving them a world that's worse off than the one my parents left me. Isn't it time we get back to our founding principles? Economic opportunity, not guarantees, economic opportunity, fiscal responsibility, limited government, individual liberty. Abraham Lincoln said, "America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves." The choice is ours. We cannot allow the status quo to become the new normal. We cannot allow desperation and despair to rule the day. And no, we cannot allow Hillary Rodham Clinton one more night in our White House. Having said all of that, as a business guy looking at our future, as a grandfather of 3 young boys, I'm actually very excited and optimistic about our future. God has really blessed us. The world needs us to lead again. I'm very optimistic about our future. Fear not the problems of today, but embrace the possibilities of tomorrow. To do that, we have, though, to stand together. The founders said it best in the last sentence of the Declaration of Independence. And in support of this declaration, with firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, our sacred honor. No matter how dark our current reality seems, we can embrace our future. We can unleash a new era of American prosperity, and we can absolutely restore the American dream for our children and our children's children. God bless you for being here. God bless you for what you do. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.